That's
I thought
convenient.
that was like theme music.
Oh, music's cued in. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, it is. We have signal. And we have very, very old Apple computers with us. This is the father Apple sheep.
Yes.
This is where it all began, right?
Actually, no.
No?
I think this would be my second Mac.
That's why it has two.
Yeah, it's a Macintosh Classic 2.
Wow.
So I had the original iMac that was expanded to 512K.
Kilobytes of RAM? Wow.
That's what I had originally.
Quite the upgrade. And this is original mouse and keyboard as well?
Right. This is the ball
I
style.
gotta get close up to this.
Okay.
This is gonna be cool. Well, it makes sense. When did this come out? Do you remember?
This would have been 91, 92.
Wow, so we're looking at 30 years then?
Yeah.
30 years old.
So this is how an old mechanical mouse used to work. It actually had
wow.
a little ball in it.
Is it like a bouncy ball?
Yeah, I don't think it.
Oh, no, not really.
It's kind of.
That's amazing that it's still
and then
active.
There's rollers in there, and
Uh-huh.
they just sat in. You have to clean that every once in a while. I don't think it's been cleaned in a while.
Yeah.
And then you just.
Did that plug in? Where does this go into the keyboard?
It can.
Oh,
it can
okay.
Plug in the back. So
Wow.
you had connections either side of the keyboard, and
They had kind of a Cybertruck aesthetic.
Yeah, look at that. That's the
Cyber
model of the
inspired.
Cybertruck.
And this was back when beige boxes were the thing, huh?
Yeah, that's all we had. So this, so I had the 512, and then I upgraded to this in 91, 92.
Mm-hmm.
This has a hard drive, so you see about this Macintosh.
Oh, it has about this.
Yeah.
Apple Computer Incorporated. Oh, let me see if I can catch that. 1983 to 1991. And you've used a bit. 3,000 kilobits.
Yeah, just on the hard drive.
So 4 megabytes.
So, before hard drive, you had a couple of floppy drives.
Uh-huh.
You actually had to load the operating system from a floppy.
Oh, it wouldn't boot
Whenever
up
you'd run. No, it
on
wouldn't
its
boot
own.
up. When you'd start up, it had a little icon of a disk with a question mark flash.
Oh, wow.
And then you'd pop
like,
in a
what do I do?
disk, just pop in a system disk, and it
Uh-huh.
would load that up, and then
Here, I'll move this.
you could,
I can mount it.
with that. Yeah.
That's amazing that it's still going.
So yeah, I've got a lot of old files on this that I'm looking at and bringing back a lot of memories, but and some software I still can use for things.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, there we go. I'm snapping it back in place. Okay, so this can still do things then.
yeah.
This is, we've got it hooked up with some hardware to the side.
Right. It's a. This was like the original Lego Control Lab. It was called, to where you could program robotic Legos to do things. Well, you just use regular Legos with motors, and then plug it into that interface box. I don't know if you can see that interface box in the back.
Oh yeah, I can move this.
So that's where
This is so cool. It's
the
like
power hooks up.
Legos and ports at the same time.
Yeah. So that plugs in to a modem port or a printer port on the back, and then I have inputs like sensors and things over here, and then I have motors. I have 2 motors on a little project I built here. So
Wow.
Lego motors that, and we built a little crane with a system and a couple of motors on it.
So this is hooked up, and what's the program called? Oh, that's what
Control Lab.
Control Lab.
Control Lab.
What surprises me about that display, I don't know if it's captured. I'm sorry. Whenever I stream, there's only a couple of different streaming applications for the iPhone. And that's what we needed for this because we're moving around so much. It's not easy to do with this. But YouTube doesn't like to retain that much quality. I think it looks okay. But so I apologize if the quality is very pixelated, but double check your quality setting. What I was impressed by with this display, obviously it's still black and white, but when you were moving your mouse around, it's still pretty high refresh rate. Like I thought it would have been
Kinda
30 or
jittery.
jittery, but it honestly looks close to 60. It might be at like 30 or 40, but looks better than I would have expected.
Yeah, most everything is right where you'd expect it in terms of how it works and the files and.
You've labeled it. just for today.
Tailosive demo.
Who would have thought Tailosive demo
Tailosive demo.
would have been listed?
So yeah, I've got this interface looks identical to the one we just looked at in real time, and then it's got I have two motors rigged up on it. Are we
Here.
ready to look at some of that?
Yeah, I want to get the smaller tripod so that you guys can see the screen because it's awfully small. Do you know how big the screen is? Is it
9 by 9? Or it's 10 by 10? It's not. I don't think it's quite a foot, is it? I think it's
No.
9-inch. I don't know what it would be diagonally.
There we go. So we get like a good look at it.
Yeah.
You can move it again when we try the crane, but yeah,
Yes.
this is a 13.6-inch display.
Yeah, I think it's a
The
9.
Mac-
I think I remember it being 9. I
Wow.
can't remember for sure. Yeah, so it's got I've
Input
got
and
various inputs and outputs. The output right now, I have two motors for my little crane device I built.
Uh-huh.
And then I have two angle sensors because I built a little controller so you can control it instead of by by hand like you would with most toys. I built like a remote control.
Uh-huh.
It's all wired.
Yeah, I can show
And
that.
later Legos have gone to Bluetooth, but
Wireless
this
and
is all
everything.
free. So I can control the crane with this control device. I pimped it out with some really cool.
He's decorated it and everything.
And show them the crane, and we'll.
Yeah, this is what's actually gonna move.
So I can move it manually using the interface. You can see it going up.
Whoa.
It's got a chain drive to go up and
So-
down, and then I've got it on a
Whoa.
rotational thing. It's kind of running fast right now. I
Wow.
gotta get the program
Oh.
running because it's coming apart. It is just Legos, by the way.
Right.
So, but I started with these kind of Legos with students
Mm-hmm.
years and years ago, and it involved learning some coding. So I've written some code. If we want to show them
Wow.
some
Yeah.
of that. So
So it's still able to write code
yeah.
after all this time.
So this kind of code uses what we call primitives.
Uh-huh.
So I had to rotate right and to rotate left to go up and to go down. So those are all different programs.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it has T2, motor B, set right, set power 2, on 420, which would mean talk to the motor plugged into B,
Uh-huh.
turn it to the right with the power of 2, and turn it on for 2 seconds. 20 is 2 seconds, so you can, instead of decimals, you could go 25, be 2.5. You could go
Yeah,
05 if you want. So similar with left, talk to motor B, set left with
What
the power
kind of
of
code
2.
is this kind of?
It's called Lego Logo.
Lego logo code.
So it's a logo language that was written for kids back in the 70s and 80s by some people at MIT, actually.
Really?
And they did Seymour Papert. Dr. Seymour Papert developed Lego logos, started working with Legos, and later came the Mindstorms and the Bluetooth
right.
conductivity,
I remember
all
those.
all the stuff that we've done. Lego League, where we have robot competitions, but it started with this stuff. So this is just
wow.
just a kind of a simple logo language. There was a turtle logo, which was a on-screen little turtle that you could make move around and use similar language. Go to the rotate left,
Wow.
rotate right. You could make a maze for your turtle to go after, or you could have him draw patterns and things. He would put his pen down and draw. But then adding the Legos to it, you're doing some mechanical engineering along with some writing of software and stuff. So it was a nice way of kind of combining a lot of disciplines.
Yeah.
Very good for kids to think about solving problems with
Right.
with the Legos and with the computers interfacing together and writing simple programs. They're not really tough. So I wrote a program so I could have a controller, and I called it to controller. Call it control. And to do control, what you have is forever commands, meaning the computer's going to keep looking over and over forever. And then what I put in brackets is if my angle sensor is at -5, talk to the motor and set the power at 4 and turn it on for about a 0.8 of a second.
Oh, okay.
And forever if the angle 5 is greater than 5, then talk to the motor and go left. So
Uh-huh.
we could control the motor up and down based on the position of these wheels.
I see. Gotcha.
And there's a little deadband between 5 and -5 where it'll do nothing.
Right.
If it's greater than 5, it's going to go one way. If it's less than 5, it'll go the other. So I go over here now and I can push control, and that will be
Control.
It'll run that program that I named it control, so that's why I'm writing control.
Oh, okay.
Run
Gotcha.
that program called control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's running. So it's waiting for the inputs to do something. So if I want to go down,
Okay.
I believe I go this way.
Oh yeah.
To go down.
There it goes. You've got the chain and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Where's the? It's this motor you're
that's
controlling.
going up and down on that one.
Oh, okay.
And then the motor in the back here, you can see is
Oh.
tied to this turntable. So
Wow.
if I rotate this way,
He's got it. Oh,
I
nice.
rotate that turntable around.
Okay.
So these are pretty standard Lego parts. They're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
Exactly. They're not the kind of thing everybody has today, but they're
Yeah.
pretty close.
Right. I mean, it's just interesting that they designed it for this so long ago, and that still held up and is still
Yeah.
inputting, and you're coding with it and writing new code.
I've had
and
kids use this as early as maybe last year or the year before.
Uh-huh.
It's been a while. COVID kind of took a hit. This is
Sure.
the kind of thing I'd send home when we were doing distance learning. But I had kids doing this, and they could build pretty much anything they wanted. But I tended to give kids a challenge, like
Yeah.
build a crane that does such as, or build a car that can steer and turn left
Right.
and right.
It
like
can
a remote
move stuff
control.
around.
Yeah, so
all
if
through
you give
this
them a
little
challenge,
box.
it gives them a little goal here with it.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's a fun.
That's a cool demo.
Yeah,
They're
that's
still
the
rocking.
Tailosive demo.
That's the demo. And you can get some perspective if I put this is the latest and greatest.
What are we looking at?
This is the M2 Air
Yes.
compared to. You can hear it.
Classic.
Is that the fan running?
It's a
Or
hard
is it-
drive, I believe.
Oh, wow.
The original Mac
Mhm.
was super silent, and it was
Really?
made to fit on existing desks because
Uh-huh.
nowadays people have giant desks for all their computers and components
Yeah.
and big screens.
We're kind of used to it.
But in the old days, you had a little desk, and so
Mhm.
if you wanted a computer on it, it would be kind of crazy. So yeah, it has this little.
Wow. What's the ports like on the back? I'm curious. You've got your Lego hookup.
They're called serial ports.
So this was pre-USB.
Yeah, no USB yet. USB came out with the iMac. We'll look at later.
Oh,
There
okay.
was one called Small Computer Systems Interface, something like
Mhm.
that. SCSI. We used to call it the
SCSI.
SCSI port. And then there's just serial ports of some kind
Uh-huh.
that we call them serial ports, and that's what we'd plug in keyboards and modems back when that
Uh-huh.
was a thing. And so, and then this floppy that's a little floppy disk. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think I have any around anymore.
Mhm.
And it's those held about 1 meg.
Wow.
So once USBs came out and you started getting flash drives, it's
Those
kind of
were-
hard to convince people that hey, you don't need a floppy disk, and people lived off of their floppy
Right.
disks.
They probably
But you
bought
don't need
tons
one,
of them, huh?
And the iMac came along. No, there's no. I think they had to put one out almost right away because people.
Oh,
freaked
really?
out. Where's the floppy?
Like an adapter or?
No, they just made an external little device.
Oh,
a floppy disk
that would plug in
external floppy.
via
plug in
USB.
USB. Meanwhile, you could
Right.
you could get a little flash stick with 5-10 megabytes
Uh-huh.
and make that your drive. But people were freaking
Right.
out that there's no spinning medium. There's no, nothing's turning. How can that be good?
Right. It can't be
Can't
good
be
if it's
good.
all solid
Can't work.
state. Wow. Did this have speakers? Or was that an
Yeah,
external
it does
thing?
I think it has a little speaker in the back. It doesn't.
Is it just really basic
Yeah.
sounds
No,
and
there
stuff?
was- I think you could plug in an external speaker, but I don't think I
Wow.
ever had one for it.
Huh.
Yeah, they were just your.
Katrina says USB floppy drive. I have one in my box of stuff somewhere.
Yeah.
And a USB zip drive.
And I had those zip drives. Those were you could get a lot of memory on it. It was a thicker, bigger disc.
Huh.
Yeah, I think I have one of those too. Yeah, but this unit had a hard drive. My original one did not. So
I see.
the original one made no sound whatsoever.
Huh.
I think the first time I got a laptop
Yeah.
years later, and the fan kicked on, and I thought,
What's going on? What's wrong?
Yeah, but yeah, this one you get a pretty decent hum out of it all the time.
Yeah, and they still have carried this design after 30 years is still mostly there. You've got your logo, file, edit in the top menu.
Yeah,
None of that's really changed.
I think they changed, like, if you were, but to be able to open two applications at the same time.
Yeah.
The other thing that kind of blew people away in the day was PCs always use the term programs.
Oh yeah.
And Apple's always used the term applications. Mm-hmm. And people are like, what's an application? And nowadays, app is
everyone
kind of
says
the common
app,
vernacular. But that early on, you had to apologize for saying, "Oh, I got a lot of cool apps." I don't think I ever said apps. It was always, oh yeah, lots of applications.
Back then it was
Which
applications.
you would know as programs. You have to kind of qualify. But I have
So
a
it's kept all your
Microsoft
stuff.
Works.
Really?
Yeah, Microsoft
Wait,
Word.
is that like Word or is that all of the apps?
It's all of them.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, well, I think it's, can't open because I have the other thing open.
224
Yeah, opening-
kilobits needed.
Opening two apps at the same time was tricky with this kind of RAM.
I see.
It might open Mac Paint. No, it doesn't.
It wants more.
I guess that Lego program's kind of a memory hog, I guess.
Yeah, maybe that's, well, if you only have 4 kilobytes or 4
Well, it's
megabytes of RAM.
8 megs RAM.
8 megabytes.
80 megabyte hard drive.
So this has 8 gigs.
Yeah.
30 years later, it's like 1,000 times the RAM.
I remember the first time somebody said the word gig. I didn't
Yeah.
have any idea what that meant.
A what? So it.
People would buy RAM.
Oh.
Buy RAM you.
Buy
RAM
RAM you.
So you get, if you could get.
Could you expand these?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You could get. Well, I remember somebody having, like, I don't remember what he said. 16. I got 16 megs of RAM. So
Ooh.
what in the world are you doing?
What could you possibly need that much for? Yeah, is this the one that had like proprietary screwdrivers?
Yeah, they're just long hex wrenches.
Oh, okay.
That have to reach way down into the case.
So you can open it
So
up.
you can crack it open. I
I
took
see.
a class where we cracked them open and changed the RAM around and stuff, but I never really opened my own. I didn't mind opening somebody's after class.
Do you know what version was this? This was pre OS 10, right?
Oh yeah.
They didn't call
I think
it
it was. I think I want to say it's 7.
OS.
It's either OS 6 or OS 7. It's one of those.
About this Mac. So, yeah, it
OS
just
7.
says
Yeah. So this was
Apple
the early
computer.
version of 7.
system software. That's all it says. It doesn't say
And it's
Mac OS
7.
or anything.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
7 point. So that was probably the last updated guide? Or did this ever get internet?
No, I never did internet. I've used a computer like this on a modem, but at my own computers, I had a
Yeah.
modem after, like, the Performa class.
I see.
Yeah, this
That's
one,
amazing.
This one has.
Your watch probably has a higher resolution now. I don't think we have the hardware to open it up. Sorry. That would be, maybe we'll save that for a different stream.
I'll wait till it explodes. I used to have about 3 of these and setups to do Legos, so I could have like 6 kids all doing this kind of a Lego robotic
Yeah.
station going on in a classroom. But those other ones slowly died, and I thought I could rob parts from one and save the other, but I just never did it. So I don't know what happened to those old ones. I sold a couple of broken ones, I think. But I'd find them. I think I got one of these on Craigslist for about $200. But
Oh,
this
that's a
one,
good deal.
This one I bought new in 1991 or 92, and I think I paid over $1,000 for it then.
Wow. 1,000 back then was.
Yeah, it was not a cheap computer.
Yeah.
It was top of the line for me.
Sure.
You could buy a PC, and I think by then, Windows was running by then. There was, and of course, by 95, there was Windows 95.
Right.
People were buying DOS Windows machines. They were full color. Or Windows machines, or DOS machines. I guess it's not DOS Windows.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were around, and people were getting into color. My thing was, why do
Right.
I want color?
Yeah. Why would you need color on a computer?
Well, in those days, it was like, I don't have a color printer.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't afford a color printer, so I don't need to
That's
pay
all
more for a color
computers
interface.
were really going for, was printing.
Yeah,
and,
you're
you
you're
know.
making paper products.
But it had a drawing app, right?
Yeah.
Could you try to? I know it needs more RAM.
Well, we'll shut down the
Yeah,
we'll
we
shut
know the
down
demo
this.
works. It's still Apple Q, right?
Yeah, all
To
those
quit.
those started with this.
The
I think all
shortcuts
those
are still
shortcuts.
alive.
So Mac Paint is a
Now it's working.
oh yeah, it was just that was a bigger
March of 90.
RAM hog than I thought.
March of 88.
Yeah, so this
Doesn't
was
get
Mac
stage
Paint. This is the
manager.
first thing I ever saw a Mac do.
Uh-huh.
I went into a store and somebody had a Macintosh out and they were running Mac Paint.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was their favorite
Paint program without color.
yeah, but it was their favorite little thing to put on a screen because
Yeah.
you could take a spray paint can and spray
Oh,
paint
yeah.
something.
There you go.
And then you could, I don't know, this mouse isn't working very well on here. And then you could take a tool like this
Yeah.
and highlight it
I love how simple it is.
and move it around.
Yeah. There's
And
not
that-
a ton of options. There's not like a bunch of settings, but that kind of makes it
Right.
intuitive.
Just having those tools there
Uh-huh.
and out and where you can work on them.
Steve Jobs demoed Mac Paint in the product launch for the original
Yeah,
Mac.
I think I remember seeing that. Just the ability to, sit and draw on your computer. That was quite a thing. And
Yeah.
and it's still very clean. It's not jittery. You
Yeah,
can
I'm
be pretty
surprised how
steady.
smooth it is.
I remember doing this a lot. I'd take brush mirrors and
Oh,
I'd turn
here we
on
go.
this center mirror. So whatever I draw on
Whoa.
one side, I get on the other, and I could draw some pretty good faces.
Oh, I see how it
So, because
works.
I'm only drawing
Yeah.
half the face, but I get a symmetrical
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. I don't see this tool very often.
No, this is kind of
anymore.
underrated, huh?
And it's I mean, I'm not an artist or anything, but I can come up with some pretty decent
Yeah, for
drawings. Just
that mouse and how basic it is, plus the hardware you're working on.
yeah, having that kind of symmetry taken care of for you makes
That's pretty good.
Makes it. There's Drew.
Yeah, for your resolution,
Oh, wait,
you've got
get a little beard
a
going.
little
for Drew.
stubble. You don't have to worry about which color to select. That
Yeah.
saves some time.
Ah, I think that looks a lot like you.
That's kind of, yeah. And what's interesting is that reflection thing you were showing can be more than one line.
Yeah,
could,
you can
like,
get crazy with
snowflake
that. So, I
designs.
think I can reduce the size of this, like that, and then
Uh-huh.
does that let me shrink it? No,
Uh,
I think there's a way of shrinking it. I'm not remembering.
does it need to select a different tool or a mouse? I don't know.
Maybe it's just
This is older software than me.
yeah,
Predates me by
92.
quite a few years.
It seems like I
Rotate.
remember you could
Take snapshot. Scale selection.
scale
Right
select.
beneath. Oh, okay. Yeah. You just shrunk it down with
So
a
now I
percentage.
I think I can just move that over to the side.
That's amazing.
So now let's make you into a kaleidoscope. So we'll go to
Oh, okay.
we'll go to goodies,
Uh-huh.
brush mirrors. and
Yeah, you
we'll
can
add
select
these-
extra lines
these
to
other
reflect.
lines. And then we'll start with a little paintbrush out here,
There you go.
and we can
Whoa. It's drawing in
Kaleidoscope.
so many places at once. That must have been a tricky thing to program back then. Just like reflecting that many times over. Whoa.
Isn't that beautiful?
That's cool.
There's things we can do with an old.
I'm surprised just how well the display has aged. Like it's not how many
Etched in and-
TVs do you still have that are like 30 years old?
Right.
Most people don't keep TVs
Yeah, and
around
this is
that
a big
long.
old cathode ray tube. But it's black
Ray
and white
tube.
and simple.
And is this glass?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that displays now are probably more fragile than they were. Like if you push really hard on your MacBook
Yeah,
display
you
and
kind
that
of
kind of
press it
thing.
in. No, that's
This
just
is
a
this is
big
solid.
old solid glass television. kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Bake the TV right in.
Well, we used to have little things to get the screen to go up on television. It was like a
Oh, really?
converter, RF converter, we called them, and you could get it up on a bigger screen.
Uh-huh.
So play a game or something with your class, you could put it
Yeah.
up on a bigger screen because projectors were way expensive in those days,
Right.
and a
I
large
see.
monitor just didn't exist, or it wasn't on my radar at those days. So
You can kind of see on the stream a little bit. There's like the refresh rate difference between the iMac,
oh yeah,
which is a little bit faster, and this one, which is barely noticeable, but at certain angles you can see
yeah,
it
you
going
get
a
a
little
little
slower. Yeah, if I move in front of it, you can see the line going down a bit
uh-huh,
slower,
uh-huh.
but shows time has passed. That's a cool. I like the paint demo, and the program writing is still. You could probably do more with this than some iPads these days because of what the software. Yeah, people are saying it's a 512 by 384 resolution.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
now we have like this is 2000 or something.
right, right.
Across. Khalid asked, "Do you have an iBook?" I think you did somewhere,
Oh,
didn't
I
you?
did. I don't have one anymore.
Yeah, that's a long
Well,
time
what are
ago.
those white ones in the other room? What
Yeah.
are those? Those are MacBooks.
I think I'm trying to remember what their PowerBook.
PowerBook.
Is that what it was?
I've got one in the other room, but it's pretty old. That first one you had that had those
Uh-huh.
video games and things on it.
So is this your work computer or was it like your home computer?
Well, it
back
was my
when you
home
had it?
until I think I got a full on color Performa
Uh-huh.
with the Power PC,
Oh, I see.
and then
Was this before PowerPC or was that
Yeah.
what they were using at the time?
yeah, I don't know what the processors were.
It was something really
Motorola-
basic.
I think they were Motorola.
Really? Motorola had
I
CPUs?
think they did. I'm just remembering.
Yeah, because now we've had several transitions. We've gone from PowerPC to Intel to now Intel to Apple Silicon. Yeah, Katrina has the specs up or just has really good memory. They said that would be the Motorola 68,000.
Okay.
That sounds impressive. Oh, we have an Ericsson in the chat,
Oh.
but it's not an Ericsson, I
Not
think we know.
anybody we know.
Anna Maria says, cool that these computers still work. I'm so jealous of the iMac when it came out, but I've never had one. Yeah, Dad's had a few. This is
Yeah,
not
in
his
fact,
first.
They called me from the school and said, "What do you want us to do with all these iMacs?" Because
Uh-huh.
I had 6 or 7 of them at one point.
Sorry for the snap. I just had to lock it down. Something we have to show while we're still talking about the classic is the travel bag. Because they made these things so that you could move around, move them around.
So I got a bunch of junk in it now, but yeah, this was your portable bag for your Mac Classic.
So who needs a battery in a laptop?
Yeah,
You can
just pack it around.
Throw-
You go to meetings and
Is it
walk
heavy?
in with that. What's that?
Is it the bag like with the Mac and everything? on it?
No,
Is it-
it's not terrible heavy, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little more
I'll
than
just
your average.
lightly. Yeah.
It's portable.
They built the handle right there.
Yeah, no,
That's pretty
it's very
convenient.
convenient for moving around.
Because at that time there weren't laptops to replace them with, so they.
Well, in those days, if you were the only guy with a computer, you ended up being the secretary on every committee you served on for the schools.
show everything.
So I'd show up with this, and
Uh-huh.
people thought you were real techie because you pull out a computer and start running. But I didn't have a battery. I had to power it up. There was no battery pack for these.
Wow.
So it wasn't that portable.
Pat's text says, "Did you buy all of the?" Oh, I should adjust the angle a bit. Okay, he's asking if you bought all of these or saved them over time, but I think that's the answer.
Well, this
is
one I
yes.
bought.
Uh-huh.
I have some others that I had donated.
Uh-huh.
And I bought some on eBay when I was trying to build kind of a lab for doing, Lego robotics with
Uh-huh.
students. Later, all of that became, doable on an iPad.
Right.
So
It's got
by the
this
time
thing.
I left teaching, every student had their own iPad, and we could give them the apps for programming and Bluetooth and all of that. But prior to that, this was the only way to do robotics that
Yeah.
I knew of with kids.
So you're the first owner.
Yeah.
You remember unboxing it? I wonder what that was like.
Yeah, I remember it came in a big box.
Uh-huh.
It didn't come with the bag that we were talking about.
That was third party.
Yeah,
That was another
yeah.
company.
But it definitely was a.
It was transportable, not portable. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
way of putting it, Bill. Thank you.
Right, because you had, Because later it was like separate monitor, separate CPU,
Uh-huh.
separate keyboard. It had been a real hassle. So
Yeah.
it was an all-in-one.
Yeah.
And made it very,
well, as close as you could.
very
Now there's
portable.
this was very, very pre-webcam, right?
Yeah.
Not even close.
No, there was no web really. I mean, there
Yeah.
was, but not the World Wide Web that we all came to know and love. We definitely it had a modem port, and later they had built-in modems. But you know, you could go online with these. It
Yeah.
wasn't quite the experience you have today.
Sure.
But,
Sure. But well, the data you were pulling from the web was probably kilobytes, so.
Yeah, it was
Wasn't-
all text and maybe a couple of pictures and things.
Right.
But nothing
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, should we transition to the?
Oh sure.
Unless there's anything else you think.
No.
We gotta.
We'll leave it up if somebody wants to see more Lego stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll save this Drew, whatever that is.
Yeah. We gotta save that
Drew
screenshot.
acid trip.
Yeah, it does look cool, but I'm just amazed how basically everything that you could do with that Mac can still be done after 30 years. You can't say that about that many computers.
No,
So,
I really have enjoyed my Macintoshes for their longevity, of course.
Yeah.
Because they've been
well,
just
that's cool.
amazing in that way.
Lego Decto, there's their whole
Dacta, yeah.
Dacta. That's their whole artwork
Control
and
Lab
everything.
software. So that was MIT, Seymour Papert. They came up with the Mindstorms concept, and he actually wrote a book called Mindstorms before they started the Lego stuff.
Wow.
And he's gone now, but his, you know, the Lego League and the different Lego robotic systems that kids can use now is pretty amazing stuff. This was, yeah, the original. So.
There wasn't much wallpaper choices, were
I
there?
think there were some little patterns.
Oh, you just had little textures.
You go to this control.
I was just
panels,
curious.
And
This reflection's not good on this side. Looks better from here.
I'm trying to see what you can do with.
Monitors. Grays, black and white. Colors.
Well.
Oh, for like an external monitor?
Yeah, maybe so. Characters. I don't know what. Maybe that was just because the operating system worked for
Huh.
a color computer. They had what they called it, a color. Mac Color or something. There was
Yeah.
a color version that was the same, almost the same
Oh, it looked like that?
chassis, and
Uh-huh.
everything, but it was a color. I don't remember what
Oh,
it was
wow.
called.
They've used that term classic a few times. I remember it with the iPod, but I didn't realize they had Macintosh Classic until I saw you using this stuff. Talk about
Here's
chin
some-
and
here's
bezels.
Some desktop patterns.
Jeez. Yeah, they called it the Macintosh Color Classic.
Color Classic, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That sounds right. They weren't around very long. I think bigger monitors became the thing, so.
That's where it went. Okay. I guess
Am I switching?
someone said, yeah, we can switch over. Let's see what happens after 10 years of advancements in Mac tech. So that was 92, and then this is 2000?
Yeah,
What would
right
you say?
around 2000. I don't remember. We can look. I was just
Okay.
gonna have this ready if we wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, you've left it on like all day while we've been on this trip. There are times where it just
no, it
keeps
doesn't-
running.
I couldn't find a power setting on it. I'm sure there is one.
Yeah, it didn't have any code that's just like go to sleep, you know.
This one I set up for my granddaughter, and it's got programs that her mother used to play.
Oh wow.
Drew's niece and his sister.
So we got color
Yeah.
both on the display and in the chassis.
So this-
now it's called
9.2. So this,
I see.
these, some of them went up to 10. They
10.
kind of rode the transition. to
Oh,
10.
I see.
But when I got it, it was 9. And in fact, you could put 10 on it, but you could boot up 9. You could have both. So if you had old
okay.
software you wanted to run, you could boot up 9 and
Uh-huh.
run it. Because 9 software did not work on 10. That was
Oh, I see.
kind of a big switch over for people.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's this one?
This has 128 megs.
Okay. 128
and, I don't
megabytes.
know what's on the hard drive.
Virtual memory, 129 megabytes used. Huh. So it's
Yeah, you
using
can
more.
do this virtual memory where you borrowed memory from the hard drive.
Oh, it's like swap.
Yeah.
We still have that. We're using it with Apple Silicon now. The virtual memory swap is on Apple Silicon.
So my hard drive has almost 10,
Oh,
almost
okay.
10 gigs. On the
10
hard
gigs. That's that's now in the ballpark of where we're at today. We're on
Sure.
the same metric, the same units at least.
Drive. Yeah, yeah.
10 gigs.
Started hearing about gigs.
Why would you need any more than that?
So yeah, 2001 I think was the time of this.
Wow.
And
So
it had,
20
of course, the, I don't know if we can see what I'm pointing at.
Yeah, we
this
can.
is the
CD.
CD drive.
Right.
So those went away later on as well. People were like, "Where's
Yeah.
my CD drive?"
I
So you
remember
had
that. The first MacBook Air, I think, didn't have the CD drive, and that was a big deal.
But
But-
long before that, we were getting these CD-ROMs, like Just Me and My Dad.
So
and
it was
these were
just-
kid programs.
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
Clifford and
I grew up with this.
yeah, Just Me and My Dad, and here's Richard
Best
Scarry
math.
with Lowly Worm and all of them.
Oh, wow.
That's lost.
Oh, Monsters Inc. Pinball
Monsters
Panic.
Inc.
Who
Pinball.
said Macs can't game?
Yeah,
This is quite a gaming machine.
Franklin's Reading World. You could
You've
you
got
could play
Franklin,
these.
You've got Clifford. You've
We
got
should
Pinball.
stream you playing some of these. You
Yeah,
could do-
classic Mac gaming.
yeah.
That would be fun. So they
This-
still work?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Does that one already
So
have
my-
the disc in it, or do you
Yeah, I put
install it?
in.
So those
And
games.
You can run them straight off the disc.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them, and these were just like little storybooks that were interactive.
Uh huh.
And you could interact with the text, or you could click on things, and little Easter eggs would happen. We didn't call them that these days.
Oh, there wasn't Easter egg. It's a little loud, but
It's kind of crackly.
yeah, just when I change it. This is like the
Big tuna.
New Media LLC. I wonder if they're still around. Big Tuna.
Big tuna.
I think
That's-
Ed Helms got that.
No, that's the.
Epic gaming rig. Anna Maria says it was either a Performa or a TAM that I had during high school.
Yeah, I had a Performa that ran a lot of these things. It was a beige box, and then when these iMacs came out, I got one, and I mostly got it because of the iMovie came out.
Oh, really?
so
That was with the
iMovie came
launch.
out with the iMac, and that was a lot of fun.
Was there much video editing back then at all, or was that kind of the
prior
first?
to that? It was what was the name of it? George Lucas developed it.
Oh.
It was it was a non-linear editing system. I had it.
Uh-huh.
But I can't remember the name of it at the top of my head. It was another editing system, but Apple came out with their own, and it came preloaded on iMacs,
Oh, wow.
so it made it a lot of
It
fun.
was just pre-installed.
Me and my dad and play with some really fun stuff just to play
Got the
with.
menu and everything.
I don't know if
Wonder
you
why
jump
it's
ahead.
scaled
Want me to
small.
read you
Small.
a story?
Well, this was a little older than this computer, so it
Oh,
might
okay.
be there might be a
retro.
setting I need to.
That iMac came with a modem and Ethernet port. So did this ever see internet when you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used these online all the time. I
Was
used the
this-
Performa online all the time. It had a external modem.
Uh-huh. Was
So-
this the family Mac we had growing up?
I don't think it's this very one.
Okay.
I had a bunch of people donate these because I had our old family one,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
I brought it to school when I
Uh-huh.
upgraded. And people saw, oh, you like these? I've got several of these in my garage, and they started hauling them to school.
Oh, I see.
But there was some great software that I used on
Oh,
these.
show them that mouse. That's a cool design they came up with.
Yeah, it's
where
an
it was like,
optical mouse.
yeah, I can hold it up here. You could see
Inside
through
of it.
quite a bit of the design. That's kind of Nothing-esque. There's a company called Nothing now that tries to do these like transparent, like tech that you can see through.
Yeah, I like those mice.
It's a cool look.
The first iMac
Pro mouse.
The first iMacs had this round mouse with a little button on it.
Uh-huh.
And it was
The
it was
hockey puck
terrible.
one. You
Yeah,
didn't like
maybe
that?
so. I
That's
didn't
what people
like
were
it.
calling it.
I didn't like it. This one was great, and the whole top of it is the button, so it just kind of
Yeah. There wasn't like a seam
Yes.
where the click part started. That's
It
cool.
was a cool mouse.
And that's USB.
Right.
Now we've
that was
moved
the
on
other
to
thing
the
that came with iMacs was USB. That
right.
I like this. You could
We went camping.
Oh, I
so
see. It's
you
like
can
a
have them
readable.
read it, or you can.
Uh-huh.
We went camping. Me and my dad.
So if you had little kids,
Uh-huh.
you could set up a station, and they set these up. They have dual headphone jacks.
2.
So the idea was,
wow.
I
thought one
you
was
could
like a
put
mic.
2 students,
Yeah.
and they could each have their own headphone, and they could go through a program like this and read the story and kind of negotiate,
Huh.
what you're going to click and what you're going to make happen. But they could both be
Wow.
plugged in. So it was sort of tailored for education and classroom.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I thought one was like a mic input, but
No, yeah,
Now
I think
it's-
there's USB mics on the
a
back.
lot of Apple stuff doesn't even have it. They haven't ditched it on any Mac yet, so we still have it
Right.
even on the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, dual headphones for
dual headphone
for
jack.
doubling up on the class.
And on the frontal ports became a big
Right.
no for iMacs later, but
Yeah,
at the
it's
time.
super convenient
Yeah.
for a classroom teacher that's running
easy.
around. I think I have some cool.
Could you pre-install games and leave them on, or did you have
Yeah,
to put the
you
disc
could,
in every
and
time?
and in fact, some of my old games or old software,
Mhm.
I started just loading onto the hard drive because I never had so much hard drive space.
Oh yeah.
So to be able to go on and like this was one of my all-time favorite.
Geography
programs.
search.
So kids could do.
They load pretty quick.
Oh yeah, it's coming right off the hard drive.
Considering it's not a SSD, there's not a long wait time. You just
So this is the thing: you could have multiple ships out on an ocean voyage,
uh-huh.
and you could set it where it took them 5 periods to get across the ocean and out there and find the city of gold. And they had to use all kinds of navigation techniques using the sun and the moon and other things to find their way across this map, and they had
Oh,
a chart
wow.
and everything that they used to build it.
God's good speed.
Good speed, the speed of good.
This
So you could be that
so
ship,
fast.
and you could sail, and you would do a lot of research to figure out what way you're gonna go,
Yeah.
and
Do it.
your ship would sail,
Oh, that's cool. The mouse turns into like a little globe.
and then you'd say report, and it would give you here's your latitude,
Oh,
what
and you
you'd
look at the
estimate, and
stars.
then you'd watch this time lapse,
Uh-huh.
and the short shadow would be your longitude.
Oh, that's moving just barely.
Right, it's like a time lapse of the day. So you're
Uh-huh.
looking for the short, and you could find your latitude, and longitude, and then you'd use a paper to chart where you were. And
Oh, cool.
kids would learn about that, and then
Dauntless.
so you could have
Outrageous.
multiple. The idea was you could have one computer in your classroom.
Yeah.
You could have a team of 5 getting the information for their ship, and they'd go
Mhm.
back and plan their next move, and then come up to the computer when it was available. So you could have
Oh,
one
I see.
computer. In those days, having a computer in the classroom was
That was
kind
a
of
big
a luxury.
deal.
So
Do you remember how much this one was?
yeah, these were a little less. I think they were more
Really?
like in the $800. They were under 1,000. I think the
Wow.
iMacs were.
Feels
They were
like
a
that's
little better
stayed the
deal.
same over the
Yeah,
years. They've
that
just
price
shot through.
range between 800 and 1,200, you could buy a pretty decent computer
Yeah.
all the way through it. So it
These
was a
old
fun.
games someone should remake to play on modern day hardware. There's honestly a lot of old games you can find on Steam that will still that are free that you can download. I've
Yeah,
been
this was
surprised.
almost like more like a curriculum.
Yeah, yeah.
It had a full-on thing. It also had in PowerPoint. Now
Oh, how new was that at the time?
that was very new.
Yeah.
PowerPoint was a big deal for
That's
me.
become a verb. Like it's bigger
Yeah.
than just the.
So
the
being
brand.
able to build a PowerPoint presentation and teaching kids to do that.
Did you pre-install that, or did it come with it?
I bought it.
Oh, okay.
I bought it.
You bought
Yeah,
it.
that was 2001. I don't know if this works anymore. This was one of
Hyper
my
Studio.
favorite. Hyper Studio was a that I think I need an old disc for it.
Oh, okay.
But
I see.
it was a cool program for making
It's the
making
first-
your own multimedia.
Yeah, Mike said the mouse would get dirty. It would get smudges and stuff. I feel like anything you use with your hand
Well,
frequently.
Yeah, this one is it's optical. It's not the other one from the old classic was a ball that would pick up dust and
Yeah, yeah.
gunk, and that was the
It's
worst.
hard to find a mouse that stays clean. Quentin Wilson says my school had tons of these iMacs. This is a whole lot of nostalgia for me.
Yeah, they're great.
Anna Maria's heading out because it's midnight in Sweden right now.
Oh, well, Sweden.
It's pretty late. I would be interested to see if the old version of PowerPoint could load up modern PowerPoints. Oh, I did.
You know, well, surprisingly, not that long ago, I
Uh-huh.
made this. I made my own little
Viking.
unit that was about Vikings. And I was on
Oh.
a fairly decent computer.
Jarl Erik.
I was Jarl Eric. So I was on
Oh,
it,
there
and
it
I
goes.
made it like
You use
a
the
simulation. And I made it on a fairly modern iMac.
Yeah.
But then I could save it on a stick and I could transfer it. I had about 4 of these in one classroom,
Uh huh.
5 maybe, and we just plugged the stick in and they could play this game.
Oh wow.
And so I made it where you could make choices,
Oh, it's
So-
like a choose your own adventure.
choose your own adventure. So you
I
had little
see.
buttons that they had to click and they had to decide as a team. So I'd have a team
Yeah.
of 4 or 5 kids.
Uh huh.
And they would decide, are you going to go out a Viking or are you going to stay and work the land? And then you'd make your choice, and then you had to choose who's your skipper, and you had this whole game that we played. So it was a kind of a choose your own adventure story that was rooted in history, and they had books that they had to read, and it was a fun thing. But you had
That is cool.
with PowerPoint, not everybody knows about these little navigation buttons. I thought they were great.
No, I didn't even know that was.
Yeah,
a
you
thing.
can make
And
buttons
was
that
back
go
then.
to other places. You can make
Uh-huh.
buttons that link to the internet. You can make buttons that jump to other slides within your same presentation.
Uh-huh.
So you can build we used to have kids do that, build like a choose your own adventure story. Where they could, you get the story to a certain point. They
Oh,
go
wow.
left, go right, go up, go over here. I can go west. I can go to Norway. I'll go west. And then
Go west, young man.
something would happen.
Uh huh.
But
Oh,
yeah,
that's-
I was able to build this on a fairly modern iMac and then transfer it over to these old iMacs, and they work just fine.
Really?
Some of the graphics kind of
Yeah, a little bit,
get
but-
screwy, but I could adjust.
Yeah.
it.
It's only downside of that mouse. I guess maybe it wasn't a common thing yet, but the mice on both of these computers don't have a scroll of any kind.
Yeah. I had some mice with the little scroll ball on them, but those
Yeah,
are
those
good
were-
done.
Yeah. Those were. nice.
Yeah, I the modern mouse with the little scroll feature on it, like a touchpad on the top,
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
Mhm.
I won't say.
Don't say. Michael Corcoran says, I was born in the 80s and our first family computer was the Apple IIc.
Yeah.
We played Larry Bird versus Dr. J. You remember that one?
I don't remember the game, but I did have Apple IIs.
Apple II.
Apple IIs were in all the classrooms.
Oh.
Those are before no mouse.
Wow. Does Pinball Panic still work?
Maybe. I think I'd have to put the disc in.
Oh, okay.
You want to do that?
I see. Yeah, we could try it. Dazzle Draw was also really cool. You remember Dazzle Draw?
I don't remember Dazzle Draw.
There was so many games for the Mac back
How
then.
about
you couldn't
how about
keep track.
Franklin's Reading World?
Oh, yeah.
I do remember that.
think
This
I
kind of
remember
thing I would
Pinball.
get and I would not bring to school because
It's not educational.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way. I was one of those guys.
I'm just curious how that. I'm very surprised on both of these Macs how high the refresh rate is still. I know that on the stream it
Before
has
we
this
go to
flash.
Pinball Panic, can I show?
Yeah.
This was
National
one of my
Inspirer.
favorite things. I think you did this when you were in my class.
Tom Snyder sounds familiar.
Yeah, that whole outfit, Tom Snyder Productions, they had the best stuff. But
They-
this program, National Inspirer, you would send kids. You could play whole class or as a single team,
Oh, okay.
and you'd send them.
We're a single
I
team.
want a multi-team.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll have 2 teams. And you send them out on a trip. They were supposed to have maps of the U.S. all on
Mhm.
paper,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were looking for resources. So you would look for like corn and oil, or population and apples.
Uh huh.
2 different resources.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be after poultry and coal.
Mm.
And you had maps, and it was never on the same map. So one map might show where all the poultry is in the United States,
Mhm.
and another map would show where all the coal is in the United States.
Oh. I
And
see.
so then you had to plan a trip, hopping your car from state to state, crossing
Yeah.
borders, to get 10 moves to get to as many poultry states and as many coal states as you could. And so they're supposed to have all their stuff that we're not
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
out. Oh, the other team
Alabama.
was looking for. We had two teams. So this team's looking for grapes and population. We know California is the most populated state.
Yeah,
I'm guessing New York,
that hasn't changed either.
Texas. Yeah. So
Ben Rayner, thank you for the super chat. He said, when did they stop using the Macintosh name? I remember playing all those Macintosh games like Nigel's World. I don't know if I ever played Nigel's World, but I think the iMac was the...
Mac is Macintosh. I don't know that they ever stopped. They just
Well,
don't-
they used it on the
where they
product
printed
name.
across.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I
was-
never saw it say iMacintosh. It was
No,
always iMac.
once they got the I was for internet, I think, when they first
Yeah,
started
I think it was.
putting I into things. So this was, the first iMac, I think, was announced in '98,
Sounds right.
which was when I was born. So basically,
That was
when I was
Steve
born,
Jobs' big return after he'd been put out.
yeah, he wanted to clean up all the lineups
Yeah.
and stuff.
I played with one of those Next computers. He moved over
Oh
to
yeah,
Next.
he was wasn't it Apple
I was
for a
at
little bit.
I was at a university that had one, and
Mhm.
that made it kind of fun.
But Katrina says their first computer was the Acorn Electron, which was, I guess, more popular in the UK. But I don't recall there being Acorn Electrons. Does that ring a bell to you?
A computer?
Yeah,
An
it was a
Apple
home.
computer?
No, it was a home computer. I don't think it was Apple,
Oh,
but it was called
I
Acorn
don't
Electron.
remember that. There were a lot of them. I had an X-City Sorcerer, but probably the most popular was a Tandy. Radio Shack.
Tandy.
Radio Shack had the Tandy brand.
Oh.
And it was called the TRS 80
Huh.
or the Trash 80.
Trashy. That's good.
Yeah, so.
No, people were.
I'm in North Carolina. I'm going to go to Georgia, and I got some
Oh,
more
I see.
poultry.
Oh, sweet.
So I'm jumping around looking for. I don't remember what I'm looking for. Poultry and coal. So where's the coal?
Oh,
Where's the coal? South Carolina, Alabama,
that's a good
Tennessee. Do
question.
they have coal in Tennessee?
I think so.
Evidently not. I
No?
would think Kentucky might have poultry.
Yeah, they're known for their fried chicken.
Yeah, I got coal there.
Oh, cool. Kentucky. Acorn became ARM, which are still around. So the ARM architecture, that's what our phones and
Okay.
even the computers now.
Okay. So it did exist.
People are saying we use this for a day. I'm honestly tempted to, just because Katrina just mentioned that this iMac has a 100 hertz refresh rate because it was a CRT monitor. So to stop the
Cathode ray
flicker, to stop the flicker and the eye strain, they had to have the refresh rate set higher than the Macs do today. So this one actually,
If I go to monitors, can I set the refresh rate?
oh, that would be interesting. I don't know if they let you change it.
There's
Oh yeah,
colors.
no, it says 95 hertz. That's crazy.
So I go to 95.
This is well,
What
you're
is it
still, I
now?
think you're at 95, but this one
Could
is
I
a
go-
higher resolution.
Should I go up?
Yeah, try the 117. Oh, it messes with the scaling a little bit. That's so smooth.
Let me try the slow one.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but it's subtle. It's there. This iMac has a higher refresh rate than this MacBook. So that's the one thing it has going for it, and the dual headphone jacks, plus the CD-ROM. Was this just CD? There was no DVD yet, or was that?
No, well, the family one we had DVD. Remember, it came.
Oh.
It actually shipped with.
A video? Or...
It shipped with Bugs Life.
Oh,
We
it
got
came with
Bugs
a
Life
copy.
DVD came with the computer,
Whoa.
so that
I
was
didn't
fun.
know that. So it got color, and it's almost ProMotion, which is what my iPhone has. Like, the iPhones didn't get 120 hertz until last year, and meanwhile, this thing was rocking 117 hertz in the early 2000s. It's bad. They made an iMac with ProMotion 20 years ago.
Now watch this slot loading DVD. So to
Oh,
get
yeah.
rid of a DVD,
You drag it.
you drag it into the trash.
Yeah, later they changed it so it would switch
Show
to an
an eject.
eject key.
But this thing is it's kind of weak and old. You'll see it's gonna. comes
Just
out.
barely. Just barely.
The original
Wow.
iMacs had a drawer, or what do you call that? Just a little.
Oh.
People thought it was a drink holder.
Yeah,
It
put
came
your
out-
drink there.
It came
I
out and
see.
had a.
Has a higher refresh rate than the M2 MacBooks. Martindale was saying you can really notice the change in refresh rate because on the live stream you have the lines going by,
Did it-
so
did
it
it do
changed.
something
it.
weird?
I didn't see it, but iMac reigns supreme. Everyone asks where the coal is, but nobody asks why is the coal.
Why?
That's the real question.
The coal is in Kentucky.
It's in Kentucky, if you're curious.
Um,
Wow.
or in Pennsylvania, I'm sure.
Airport. That used.
Yeah, that was a thing.
They had their own modems and stuff.
So you
for
could have a
while.
wireless. You could have wireless internet with that.
With this?
With airport. That's
Oh.
what airport was.
Oh, that wasn't Wi-Fi? They didn't
You-
call it that? Or,
Yeah, I guess not.
huh?
Yeah, the idea was you could plug in your modem or whatever into an airport deal,
Oh,
and it would.
airport
it
was
would-
an Apple thing?
It was like having your Wi-Fi router.
Okay.
It was an Apple thing. I think you had one, didn't you?
I may have. I
Apple
don't.
Airport. It would.
There was
be a
an
way of
airport
boosting it up.
extremes in capsules not long ago. They discontinued them, but
Okay.
so this could get internet wirelessly then.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's
I
impressive.
had it plugged in the classroom, just with cable, with
Oh wow.
what do you call it, Ethernet. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, do you want to try a different queue up, whether it's pinball or you have
Oh,
the
yeah,
Star
pinball.
Wars one? Is that
You
on
want to
this?
see that?
I bet they'd get a kick out
Star
of it.
Wars launches right off the CD.
Oh,
I just
I see.
found
What's
this
it
in a
called?
box yesterday.
Star Wars
Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault.
Now that was the one video game that I got myself actually into, and I think I put all the kids to bed and go to my computer and
And
I'd
you're not
play
a big
Rebel
gamer, so
Assault.
that's
I'm
saying
not,
something.
yeah, but I like Star Wars and I like the
hmm
I like the
Airport was the first Wi-Fi.
yeah.
Huh. I still have Airport Extreme. Nice. That's great. I want them to bring it back too. I think I did a video on things Apple should bring back, and that was one of them. You might leave it down just because.
But we gotta crank it. It's Star Wars.
Yeah, it's copyright claim. I'm
Oh.
gonna get mad at.
That-
Yes, it's on the screen. You'll have to visualize it. But can the game play at 120 frames a second to take advantage of all this?
Look at that.
Beauty.
X-Wings.
It's playing the fanfare in case you can't hear it.
It's a period of civil war. It was a cool little intro.
Yeah. No, that's not from the movie. They had to make this for the game.
Right. And then they have some clips. There's some clips.
Oh
from
yeah.
it.
Look at the artifact. Wow.
Yeah.
This is relevant. There's still shows
Yeah,
coming
they're
out
still
about
coming
that.
out. Well, and I believe we start on Tatooine flying skyhoppers,
Oh wow.
blasting womp rats in my T-16 through Beggar's Canyon or something
Beggar's
like that.
Canyon.
So it's got all of the makings of
Uh-huh.
of Star Wars today. There's
Oh,
the
wow.
high-end graphics there.
Yeah. Yeah, the frame
Yeah,
rate's
here's
not
the
super high,
skyhopper on the T-16s.
but- Wow.
And you fly training missions until
Uh-huh.
you get, and then what they would do is you would get to a level and they would give you these little nonsense Star Warsy words, and those were your codes.
Yeah.
So once you got to a certain level, and somebody could go online and find all the codes.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, you just had to earn codes until you could, when you started the game, you type
Uh-huh.
in the code and you'd get to jump to that level.
Oh, I see.
So it was
Top
It
pilots.
was a lot of fun. So if you want to play it a little bit.
Yeah.
So it has.
You can hear it spinning. They said this will be a DVD video track on the disc. So the disc is
Oh,
DVD, I think.
Yeah.
Or a very early form of DVD.
Yeah.
You can see all the lines.
Right, yeah, really high-end graphics. There's the skyhopper coming up into
Wow.
there, and you have to fly with your leader through the canyons.
Uh-huh.
TACCOM control.
When are they going to make a Disney Plus show called Rebel Assault? They might as well at this point.
Well, what's the one coming out with the?
Andor.
Yeah,
that
but there's
might as
one
well
with
be-
with the squadron. It's all just the spaceships.
Oh.
Because that's what I always liked was the spaceships. The rest of it gets a little out there.
Who cares about it?
But the spaceships and the technology was always most
Uh-huh.
interesting. But yeah, this. So here they're flying through these canyons,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to be the one in the back,
Oh, I see.
and you can. So now
Oh, here
now
we
I'm
go.
flying it.
Yeah.
When I hit the walls, it makes a racket.
Whoa.
You get about 4 chances to hit the wall, and then
Wow.
I haven't hit the wall yet this time.
You've
I've learned that if I pull up the whole time, I stay up higher, and it's a little easier.
yeah. This is just like Top Gun Maverick. You have to stay between
Right.
the lines.
So I go to the left if I want to avoid the difficult stuff.
You're Juke Skyhopper. That's who you're buying. I don't think Minecraft was around yet when this Mac came out, so no, it probably didn't. But
I got to go low now because
it's like
there's
surprisingly
a land bridge.
Oh, I see. They don't want you getting comfortable up there. This is like a 3D.
Yeah, some kind of a
video is
mapping
playing.
video of a. Oh, I hit the wall.
Oop. Oh.
Okay, I made it to the next level.
Oh wow.
So we're flying over, blasting drones or droids or something.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still in training,
Uh-huh.
and you work up to these missions where you fly X-wings through.
Oh wow. It's got
So now it's kind of a different thing. And here's your drones.
Uh-huh. So you can't hit these pillars. Oh, almost.
Oh, see, I'm so good at this.
Are you limited on ammo? Or is it
I don't
infinite?
think so.
Yeah, I would just spam it. There you go. Oops.
I can't.
They have all the Lucasfilm.
Oh, I crashed.
Oh no!
So
They
that's
like
pretty
a
much
little
how it goes.
Perfect animation. That's cool. No, are you sure?
I'm sure I
see.
went too quick.
That's pretty amazing that it can still do all that.
Yeah,
Still
no, that was fun to
fires up.
find that because I used to play. That was one of the few games I had ever
Wow.
stuck with.
We'll get a Disney show out of it eventually.
What's this? Some kind of a.
Star Wars demo. Screen entertainment.
It's
Is
a
it a
slide. It's a slideshow
They-
of different.
They put a slideshow on the disc in case you wanted to just. It's not even like the original music. This is like a cover of John Williams.
Played on
A few Ralph McQuarrie.
old drawings.
Painting.
I remember some of those.
They have
Oh,
like
you could get a
desk-
little.
Oh, decorate your
Screensaver.
desktop. Figrin Dawn. Oh, that's cool. CR90 blockade runner. Who keeps track of all of the lore to make sure they don't rename
I
something?
don't know. There's some. Isn't there? What do they call that? It's like canon.
Yeah.
You got to know the Star Wars canon to
Right.
get it right.
Oh, now you got Jawas.
Jawas
They
that
can take
tear
over.
apart your.
They start ruining your desktop.
That's what that is.
That's great.
That's fun.
Well, thanks for showing us all this.
Hey,
It was quite a
my
bit.
pleasure. Evie, our granddaughter,
Ooh.
loves to play.
It's hot.
Oh, is it?
You can feel a bit of the heat coming out.
Oh, well,
It's not super hot.
No, if it was hot to the touch, I'd be
Yeah.
worried.
It probably doesn't thermal throttle as much as this does. There's no fans in it.
Right?
It doesn't make a sound. So
Yeah, but you have no moving medium in that.
true. It's
This
all
has got a
flash and-
spinning disk drive and a spinning,
Yeah,
and I believe it has a fan that kicks on, but I don't.
you can see some of it. I could show the camera, but it's kind of tinted this blue color, so
Yeah,
you
you
probably
probably
won't
wouldn't
see
be
it
able to
that
see
much.
it.
But
Well,
yeah,
this
this
is
is.
a microphone, I believe.
Oh, really?
That's the built-in mic.
It had a built-in one. Is there a program you can access it through? I wonder if it even still works.
I don't know.
They had a bit of a handle back here,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
you
feels.
Can pick it up. It also had a VGA. It has a VGA port
Oh,
on
okay.
the back, so you could.
Uh-huh.
You had to take a little access cover off,
Uh-huh.
and then you could plug it into a bigger monitor. I plugged it into big screens to kind of demonstrate things
Really?
before I turned kids
Wow.
to it.
That doesn't feel like a good place for the handle though, because you can see through it like the plastic. It's just holding on to plastic. It's not like there's metal between the handle and
There's
the
always a
rest.
little.
If you try to. Yeah, that's
Try
a.
it. There used to be all these.
It's all plastic holding it when you lift it from that point.
There used to be kind of a pre-Siri thing, and I'm not remembering how to do it. But you could have
Talk?
to tell you a joke.
Oh, that would be funny.
Oh, wait, speakable items, control panels.
Energy saver. Speech. Is that it? You can hear it think. That's what's funny about these old computers. When you access something, it's like sounds like a Geiger counter. Oh yeah. Can it talk? Oh.
So escape.
Welcome. You may speak any of the commands listed in the Speakable commands window.
It had Siri. Very, very early
Tell
Siri.
me a joke.
Oh. It's thinking.
One moment. Setting up a menu options. Opening speech help. Done.
Done.
The command
Speakable
recognizes
items.
built-in commands. No, your computer recognizes spoken commands in English. Speakable built-in commands are always available.
That's a really creepy voice, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
That was a good joke.
To give a command, position yourself in front of the microphone, press and hold the listening key, escape, and speak a command. And declare
Okay.
no. Okay, here I go. Tell me a joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who? Orange who? Oh, that's a nice joke.
There's an orange at the door.
Knock knock.
Let him in then. Let in the orange.
Tell me a joke. No, she's mad.
Doesn't
Tell
like
me
that.
a joke. No.
It heard you though that first
Yeah,
time.
first
it
time
actually
it
had like
Knock
an
knock
early
joke.
form of dictation. You could actually speak to it and it would decipher. Could you try a different?
Yeah, let's try.
Sorry, missed the application name.
Oh, okay. How about what's something we can have it run?
Um,
Open power. Okay. Open PowerPoint.
Maybe it's just thinking really hard.
Really thinking hard.
It's I mean, that was.
Let me try it again.
Okay.
Open PowerPoint.
Well, our iPhones can't open PowerPoint anyway, but that's probably a lot for a computer with, how much RAM? 4 megabytes or no, it's like 128 megabytes of RAM,
Yeah.
and you're trying to speak to it and have it interpret that
Right.
text.
I'm just doing something wrong. Tell me a joke.
Knock knock.
It does that.
Who's there?
Wayne.
Wayne who?
It's
Some
Wayne.
people just can't tell a joke.
Wayne's at the door. That's the joke.
Okay. Wayne.
One moment. I actually use it. This is even worse than Siri.
Wayne who?
It's really
Oh
good
my
at the
gosh.
setup.
Yeah,
It doesn't want to
yeah.
get to the payoff.
Yeah, you just.
Maybe that part of the drive is corrupted or
Yeah,
something.
maybe
He doesn't know how to
just don't know
finish
how to
it.
finish the joke.
And it feels like knock knock is all you can say. Can you try to make conversation with it? Like, hello. Yeah, I feel like knock knock is all it can hear. It's,
knock knock.
well, she's done for the day.
Come in. Oh well.
Can it do arithmetic?
No. 2 plus 2.
Sorry, missed the application name again. You may refer to these applications.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Open geography search.
Huh? It says reference these, and then you say. I wouldn't be shocked if the microphone is really busted. Like microphones from this couldn't be very good.
All kind of garbled.
So it might not be hearing much.
Oh well. Hey,
Well,
we gave it a shot.
It was worth. I didn't know it had. That's news
I'd
to
forgotten about that.
It's
I
like
don't
a
think I
speaking-
used it very much because I think of that. I think that was the reason.
Well,
It was kind of hit and miss. It's
we have
easier for me
Siri
to
now.
just click things and do it.
me. Siri is already not very good. Anyway, what is this old Siri called? Is it just called?
It just says
Speech.
speakable items.
Oh my God, Chris Norton! Why did you do that?
Speakable items.
Chris Norton just super chatted a large amount.
Oh well, you have to
He's-
share.
He said hello.
You have to share. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. I feel like we can't end the stream now. We gotta answer some of Chris Norton's questions.
Yeah, Chris, you want to see? Anybody want to go back to the Legos?
Should we show him the Legos before we wrap up?
Oh, I'm
Um,
open to anything.
Does it have a jack and external mic? I'm sure you could plug it in an
Yes,
external mic,
yes,
but this
and you could do USB for that.
these
too.
were both headphone jack inputs. What's your dad's computer setup look like today? Oh, do you want to show that?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. if it's presentable at
Yeah,
this
it's
point.
presentable.
Okay.
We'll go in there.
It might-
It's the man cave.
The man cave of the house. So this is Dad's legacy Mac setup. Have Siri's grandma answer Chris's questions. Yeah, we'll talk to Siri. Let me bring the chat over. Sorry if we're moving. Sometimes the stream gets a little laggy, so it might get a tad choppy when I'm. It should stabilize in a second. Okay, we actually found this, or we were looking for your new Mac. I think. Here, don't enter it yet. I'll pan up.
Doesn't show.
There you go. Well, they can see the keyboard.
Oh.
We'll enter your super secret passcode, which is password. We'll have. Oh, while he's getting his desktop set up, we can showcase his Lego collection.
Yeah, now think
We've got
about
a lot.
Star Wars and that. Yeah, we have a little collection going there.
And he's got the sword from Braveheart above everything.
Scottish Claymore.
A claymore. So what do we have here? What have we here?
Well, this was refurbished.
Yeah, you bought this not long ago, right? This was.
Yeah, not quite a year ago.
But it's the newer iMac design. It's thin. There's no CD drive anymore. It's a 4K. Oh wow. 2017 3 gigahertz quad core Intel i5, 8 gigs of RAM. So it's a bit of an improvement over your other iMac in the other room.
Built-in Retina.
Uh-huh. So this is an improvement. Do you use it pretty regularly?
Oh yeah, yeah. I like a big screen for writing and for putting together projects and things.
And you like your Magic Mouse?
Yes, I do. You gave me that.
That's probably. He brought it up, not.
Yeah.
But
It was a gift.
this is probably the cleanest looking mouse. Apple's.
Yeah, I like the scroll feature on that.
Yeah, the
surface of
trackpad.
it, yeah.
This one has a Siri. Ask it to tell you a joke.
Do I hit escape?
I
How
think
do
you
talk
just.
to it?
You just click it like that. Or at least I thought that's how it worked. Well, it's thinking. What can I help you with?
Bad grammar, Siri. With what can I help you?
Oh,
What
Siri.
can I help? Where are you at?
Even Siri doesn't work very well all these years later.
Tell me a joke. Oh, sorry.
Now it's going. See.
It doesn't play.
My friend, a tennis player, got a job waiting tables.
Pause for effect.
It was go.
Wait for
It
it.
was going well until someone asked him to serve a grapefruit.
Ah! Wait, what?
Is that the joke?
Serve a grapefruit.
He thought they
Oh.
meant,
That's the joke.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I
Pretty good.
prefer the old Siri.
Siri, knock knock. Knock knock.
Sure. Knock knock.
Come in.
Come in. Oh, I
I
didn't
didn't
get it
get
either.
that.
Could you try?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
my God.
not. Another time.
No Monterey. Oh, Chris super chatted again for some reason. He said old computers are fun. Yeah, I think it's cool. That I'm glad you've kept those after all these years because I don't typically keep. Oh, we have one just sitting off camera
Oh,
here.
yeah, what is this guy?
We gotta find it. It's got power.
Yeah.
It's got the charging
I don't
light
remember when I plugged it in.
indicator.
It's been sitting there for. This is a
iBook.
i4 G4
Yeah.
iBook.
No, that's the one. Your computer's advertising for you. Available now on Amazon.
What? How did that happen?
You just bumped something. Oh, it still makes the sound. I think someone was asking earlier if we still had the white iBook, and then
There
you
it
were
is.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we come in here and it's
I
just sitting around.
used it for something. I think I had some old files on it that,
Oh, wow.
that I pulled off and moved on to here.
Oh, that's awesome.
The flash drive, it's working pretty well.
Boom. Yeah, the speakers don't sound great, but
Yeah, probably is gonna be warming up a while.
Yeah, it might be a while.
Yeah.
Well, we have some other things to get to today, so I think we're going to wrap the stream up here. But thank you so much, especially Chris, for all the generous super chats and for you guys walking down history lane with all of us. If you want me to do more in-depth videos on these kinds of Macs, just let me know. But thank you all for tuning in, and hope you have an excellent rest of your day. And thank you, Dad, for holding
my
on to the
pleasure.
Macs for this long.
No, I love them. They're still working for me.
They're still working. This is OS 10, by the way.
Yes.
The clock didn't make Y2K. It's confused. Bye, everyone. Have a good one.